Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here to give you guys another one of the community challenges brought to us by Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. This is volume 2, where we're gonna be diving into the my top 5 favorite TV duos, but animated. So here we go. Um, all right. So we're gonna have one honorable mention, and it's the honorable mention I was thinking of for the third one for the thing, and I just totally screwed up and didn't even like think of it as animation or whatever, even though it definitely is. It is Shaggy and Scooby from Scooby-Doo. That's my honorable mention because as much as I love them, they are very popular. Everybody always says them. I mean, I could have done, I guess, Daphne and Fred, kind of thing, but I had to go with Shaggy and Scooby. They are two of my favorite. They're so funny and goofy, but they're also very popular, and many people are probably doing them for their animated list. So I've decided to do, that as my honorable mention. So anyway, here we go to my top five. Five. So here we go. Number 5 is from G.I. Joe, and it's Cobra Commander and Destro. Um, so once again, there's a lot of duos in there. There's a lot of cool duos from the G.I. Joe show. But, Cobra Commander and Destro always were my two of my favorite. They were villains, but they were so goofy and silly, and at times I really loved like Cobra Commander was even sillier, even if he didn't think he was, and Destro was very more serious and everything, and it made things even weirder and crazier for the show. I loved it. Growing up watching G.I. Joe as a kid, I always wanted to see what Cobra Commander and Destro would fumble up, and everything. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed those two. I have not gone back to rewatch them in forever. I need to. But aside from that, I just absolutely adore the series, and yeah. So there you go. All right. Next is another cartoon villain duo. Probably up there as one of my favorites, of course, Shredder and Krang. Um, so Shredder was always trying to get the turtles. Krang was always yelling at him, bossing him around, telling him what to do. Krang was this big guy with this big tall thing that never spoke, but then he had this little brain in his belly. If you haven't ever seen the show Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cartoon, he was so goofy. I could have gone rock steady and bebop, but like I really, really liked Shredder and Krang together because they sort of were like the yin and yang of each other. They like helped each other out, but they also screwed each other over, or whatever, and so much fun. The turtles always had to defeat them in some way or another, and they always did. You know, the turtles always wound up on top, unless there was an episode where they like didn't for like a to be continued thing or something. Number 3, and I'm gonna go with The Simpsons on this. I'm gonna go with Bart and Lisa, who most of the time they're not a duo. They're bickering at each other, just like the other guys, I guess. But they always team up or do something, or they have episodes together and stuff. And them together just always makes me happy. I love Bart and I love Lisa. I love Bart for his silliness and fun and goofiness and pranks and other things he does. And I love Lisa because she's so studious and she doesn't get in trouble and she doesn't even like trouble. If she does try to cause trouble, she tends to just not enjoy it as much as Bart does. They're kind of the exact opposites of each other. So once again, another yin and yang, and they really work together. And sometimes they have to come together, as a duo, to do stuff or whatever, fix things up or help, help the situations that they've caused or that they're in. And I just love it. So Lisa and Bart, Um, so all right. Next is number two. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be fun. It's from Thundercats. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats. Oh, yep. I wish I was wearing my Thundercats shirt. I have a Thundercats shirt somewhere. But yes, I'm a huge Thundercats fan. I grew up watching that show. And so my two favorite characters from that is obviously, who do you think? Lion-O and Snarf. Yes, Lion-O and Snarf. I did not go villains or whatnot in this one. Lion-O is he is the leader, he is the head, he is the one who knows all and is protective and he's, very intuitive, all that stuff. And Snarf's the little fraidy cat. Literally, I think he's a little cat. And he's always scared of everything. He's like, Snarf, Snarf runs around, and I just always loved him. And I've actually got to interview Larry Kenney, who plays Lion-O, and I've always just been a huge fan of that show, and just knowing that I even have met the man himself and everything in person. Just you can listen to his voice, and his voice is Lion-O. That's his voice. He's just maybe a little bit more like hello, right? A little bit more deeper about it. But he is freaking he is Lion-O, and that's awesome. So Lion-O and Snarf are my number two. My number one favorite, you know. All right. Oh, this comes from the real Ghostbusters, you know. So as a kid, I grew up on the Ghostbusters, right? But so I'd watch the movie and I got scared or whatever. And then there's the TV cartoon, and that kind of brought me back into Ghostbusters because Ghostbusters wasn't as scary on the cartoons. Now there was one. Now, interestingly enough, it's called Poultrygeist, like the Troma movie, but it's called Poultrygeist and it's about like a killer chicken. I don't know why, but that chicken with his red eyes and other stuff and things scared the crap out of me as a kid. I don't know how old I was, like 6 or something, 8, something like that. I don't know why that terrified me as a kid, but it did. Um, however, so they made the Real Ghostbusters show, and what they emphasized on the Real Ghostbusters, if you don't know this already, is the character of Slimer. And Slimer is my favorite character, like, period, from the Real Ghostbusters. And I always loved the duo of Slimer and Peter. Peter, he always wanted to kiss Peter and make him all slimy, just like he did in the movie. They recreated that scene where Slimer runs at him and, later he's slimed. You know, in my mind, Slimer just wanted a kiss, and kiss Peter. So it's just so funny to look back at that movie and go, oh, Slimer's just coming to give him a kiss, you know. And yeah, I always love that. I always love Slimer, period. I'm gonna eventually, my plan is to buy more, stuffed animals um or different things with Slimer. Because he is my favorite character, and I do absolutely adore Slimer. I think he is one of the funniest, most creative characters that cartoons have, brought out. And he's a pet, you know, and he's sort of treated as a pet, Pets always get, the pets always kind of get in trouble and and everything. And so like Snoopy, who also should have Snoopy and Charlie should have been on my Charlie Brown should have been on my list. I didn't even think about them for some odd reason. But that would have probably been an honorable mention. So there you go. It's an honorable mention right there. Um, but Peter and Slimer just to me are what made me enjoy Real Ghostbusters. All the rest of them catching ghosts was fun, but every day I was hoping, what's Slimer gonna do this time? And that became a problem because when they were gonna do part two, uh, the studio I think really wanted them to bring Slimer back, like as a goofy little character, like in the cartoon, and they didn't want to do that because Dan Aykroyd and them didn't create Slimer to be this, you know. merchandising type of thing. They created him as a just a ghost that they had to fight. They had to get. That was it. So when the cartoon latched on Slimer, it became all about Slimer. They really they were doing that mainly because they knew kids would buy Slimer toys, and Slimer was this kind of cute little creature, and a person like me as a kid just understood that. So, anywho, that's it. That's my top five. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that Huck does more of these type things because this was a lot of fun. And if you're doing a community uh one, let me know. Community challenge, let me know. I want to be involved in more of these because these are fun. And I want to put them out on like Saturdays when I'm not really putting anything else out on. So thank you guys for checking this out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.